Yes. All right. Good evening, or good morning, good day. I am SimiCU. I play on the server Sarlona. Today's video is going to be a video about what to do, how to set up for the very first time if you're trying this game. Movement and controls and stuff like that. Just the very beginning stuff to help with players who are new to MMOs, like if they're moving from, say, um, games where you use an Xbox and a controller over to trying to use a keyboard. Now, you can play this game with a controller, and I will bring up the video of that here through when I address that later on. Um, but for now, this is the very beginning, basic. I'm showing my screen. I'll change the screen here in a little bit, but I wanted to, for people to see, this is what it looks like when you first bring it up after you put in your sign-in name and your password, and you'll get a screen like this where you can pick all the different servers that are on here. Now, I play on Sarlona. If you're a new player, it will normally put you on the default server. If you don't pick anything, I know it's kind of hard to see. It's blurry, but this is Arganessen. You can see it up here. That's the server, but I am going to pick the server that I am on, which is Sarlona. You can see the name changed up top. And once you pick the server that you're on, you're just going to push play. And now that will bring up the game on the screen, and I will switch over to that here momentarily. Because you don't need to see movement or anything, how I control my character right away here in the beginning. So let me just change this around. You don't need to see this, but I'll turn this on and see if it shows up. Okay, which it does not. There it went. Okay. Now, let me see. What in the world do I have? Apparently, I got a lot of weird stuff on here. All right. Delete. Indeed. It's funny. All right. Here's how you're going to create a character. You're going to bring your mouse, which I don't know why that's not showing up on the screen. It doesn't show my. Anyways, I'm going to click create down here where you see it highlighting. I don't want to show. All right, click on create. There it goes. Now it shows. I'm going to pick a male melee. Let me turn this off. See that? Melee. Next. I'm going to be a fighter. Next. You don't have, I mean, you can, I guess, pick some of this stuff you want, whatever. You just normally just customize. Next. You can pick whatever class you want to be, but I'm just going to pick a human because humans get a bonus feat in the beginning. So click next. I'm going to end up using my strength for attack and damage, so I'm going to max that out. I'm going to put as many points as I can in constitution, and I'm going to put 2 points in dex. Now, I forget off the top of my hand if that's going to have to be higher for a two-handed build. I'm not sure right now. I'll figure that out later. Research your character build before you make it. This video isn't so much for making a character, but I'm just kind of like showing how to make one. I'm just going to put some points in jump, um, balance. Once again, this is, you don't do anything like this. I'm just doing this as two-handed fighting. I'm going to pick power attack, and I'm going to pick cleave. All right. Next. That shows everything. Next, I'm going to switch my alignment to neutral. And I'm just going to make up a name temporarily. Lock, knock, whatever. And create. Now you can adjust, you could play around with doing stuff with the way your character looks, but once again, this isn't a video for that. This is just for new players to learn how to move around and adjust everything and get acclimated to a game where you use a keyboard and a mouse, if you're not going to still be using a controller. All right, so now I'm on the ship, and I will bring up my mouse, my keypad again. We'll bring that up. Now, here's the way, the very first thing that I do when I set this game up. It's about organization and getting everything set the way you want it to. Once again, let me turn the keypad off. This starts off with a little bit of a space right here. So normally I just pull this up a little bit. Oh, because I got it locked. No, it's not locked. Move. Oh, there we go. See, you can move this around. I normally bring it up a little bit, grab the bottom, pull it down. So now you got all this space to see your text. All right. The next thing you probably want to do is you have this hot bar, but it's only one hot bar. All right. What I normally like to do is I like to set up a stack of hot bars beside each other. Once again, this is your preference, your choice, however you want to do it, but this is how I do mine. I think I do 11 of them. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 plus 11, and here's how I stack them up. I do them in order. Number 1, I put right here. Number 2, I put it right there. It's right on top of it. And you'll see why I keep these aligned like this here in a little bit. There's 3. There's 4. Okay, it's only 4 high. Here's 5. Here is 6. Now, some people may not want that. They want to see their character. So you can absolutely put your bars over here if you want to, so you can see your character. This is, like I said, it's just a preference. You put your bars wherever you want to. I'm going to show you, if you're using the keypad, the number pad, it's kind of like ideal to at least have something like this stacked. You'll see these things right here, and I'll explain what that is here in a little bit. Put that there. This there. Actually, I am short 1. All right, so I normally have 12. And I'll show you where the other one goes. I go 9, 10. I flip this one. This is number 11. There's a little button there. You see it looks like a circle. If you don't push the this one that looks like an arrow, because what it does is it will take a bar away, and then you'll be like, well, where did the bar go? See, doop, it's gone. So you'd have to bring it back out. And here it is down here. So I flip it. I like putting this over on the side. And this one I put right here on the top. All right. Now, this up here is your targeting you and your target. I like to, first of all, there's a little eyeball right here. You don't need to, like, if I click on him, it shows his icon. If I hover over something, it shows the icon of whatever I'm hovering over. I mean, me personally, takes up a lot of space. I don't need to see that. So I click on the eyeball. Now, it went back up here, so I'm just going to pull this down, and I'm going to put that. I can either put it there or up here. It really don't matter, but it just kind of fits neatly right there. So I just put it right there. That way, if I target him, it's going to show up right here. Or if I target myself, it's right here. Whatever I'm targeting, it's showing. Same with this. I'll pull this down and I'll set this over here on this side because that is me. That will always stay on. I can see myself. I can see my hit points. All right. Now that I got that set up, there are these two things up here. This is like your quest objectives, whatever you're doing. This is your map. What I normally do is I put the quest objectives up in the very top right hand corner and I put the map underneath of it. Now, if you push the letter M on your keyboard, it turns the mini map into a bigger map like this. What I do is I normally scroll this down and then just fit this like right in there. That way I can just, it'll do that. I mean, what makes it big again? Oh well. But you just put it right down in there. There you go. Now it's not doing it. See? I'm just pushing M to go between the two. So that has that set up. Now, if you're playing on any server or whatever, this is your layout right here. Now, here's what you can do to save this layout. That way, if you ever make another character, all right, it will save what all of this looks like right here. The only thing you have to do if you ever make a new character reincarnate, you're going to have hotbars all over the place. They're going to be like all stacked over here. If you reincarnate your character, they're all going to be right here. It'll have all of them out again. I think if you make a new character, it might only have one bar. I'm not 100% for sure. I know it only had one bar this time. But what you want to do is you want to come down here to where it says General. You're going to do the backslash. You want to type UI, do a space. Then let me see, you're going to type in layout. UI layout, that's all one word. Another space. Save. You want to type in save. Another space. So you got UI layout, save, and then name it whatever you want to name it. If this is a melee character, I could type in melee, or I can type in my name. I'll put in see me. See you, or I'm gonna actually I use see me see. I don't want to save that. I'm gonna type in another one. I'm just going to put in melee. That's, and then after that it says UI layout, save melee, enter. So what that did is that saved this layout. So if I come up and just say I were to move all these bars all over the place like this. Even if you reincarnated your character, they would all be stacked up, like I said, right here. All you have to do when you make your new character, whatever, as long as you've already saved UI, you come back to UI layout. It's the same exact thing, but instead of save, you want to type in load, and I named this melee. Just got to make sure you remember what the name is. UI load, hit enter, and look at that. Boom. It just brought everything back to where I had saved it automatically. So that is the very, very basic beginning of setting up your UI and stuff like that. The next thing I suggest that you would do, go ahead and get rid of all this stuff on the bar. We're going to start fresh with all your feats and abilities and stuff like that. I want the UI clear though. Clear everything off so you can see all these little things that I have going on here so you understand what they mean. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the other camera, which will show the keyboard. I will move this so you're able to see everything. I'm just going to put this up here for now. All right, now here's what I want you to notice with this layout that I have, the layout right here, and up here where my keypad is at. The number pad particularly is what I use. I do not use the WASD and all that stuff, because when you look at the keyboard, the QWERTY and the ASD, FG, all that stuff is not lined up with each other like this is over here. This is perfectly lined up with each other in straight lines. and you don't have to worry about keys being offset from each other. You'll train your fingers where to go. I use all of this, every single button that's here. The reason why the inner button is not here, I popped it out. And there's a reason why I pop it out, because when I'm playing here, sometimes I will hit the enter button by accident. And if you press enter in this game, what it does, it will, well, let me hit it brings open the text box down here. So if you're not careful when you're using the number pad here and you accidentally hit the enter key and all of a sudden your character stops moving, you might see like a bunch of numbers written in the general box here, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then so then and I normally just hit enter to hurry up and get rid of it instead of me trying to delete all of that. So that's the reason why I pop that out, so I don't make that mistake. You don't have to do that. I just have fat fingers, and I always hit the button. The other thing that I took out was the number lock button up there. Once again, my finger sometimes will hit that key. You have to have numlock on. Numlock has to be on your keyboard. If you turn it off, then these things on the keyboard would not trigger. Some of these things is with numlock on, like home, page up, page down, stuff like that. I want this set up with numlock on, and then once I turn numlock on, I just pop it out of there because I really have no need for numlock anymore. So there we go. Now that is the basic setup of my keyboard where I use the number pad. All right. Now, let me see here. What would be the next thing that I would demonstrate? Let me pull up my other camera again real quick. I'm going to turn off this screen real quick and turn this on. This is just my second camera. So now you can kind of see, here's my keyboard set up. There's my mouse. And this is how I play, with my hand right here like this. Here. I just rest my hand on here. Now, you can see from the camera up top, the camera, I'm trying to get the mouse on here. You can see it's just hard to do. Anyways, the right here, to it. The camera right here. I'm able to touch all my keys. I use the divide sign, multiply sign, minus sign, the plus sign. I use all of these through here. I use the decimal point. I use the 0. My pinky hits any of these keys right here, the arrows that some people will use to move around, but I use these for hotkeys. I'll explain a little bit. I use all 6 of these as well. So when you see how many hotkeys I have set up, here are 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 21 hotkeys, and then I have 4 movement keys, which is going to be the 8, the 4, the 6, and the 2. All right. So now, let's set this up. Now, if you pay attention to, let me turn this back on, turn this off real quick. If you look at my hot bars right here, you'll notice that you can see wording that's written in here. What I did is if I'm going to start this, not this box up here, this top box, that's where I put my character buffs. If I have buffs or spells that I can cast, like just to buff myself up, that I only use like at the beginning of a quest, I normally just put them up here. But starting here, look what this box is. This box is number, like num, and then the backslash, and then it has num, and then that's the multiply sign, and this is num, and then the minus sign. That is these top three keys right here on the keyboard, right here where the number pad's at. I have them aligned right here. That way when I play, my mind is trained to exactly where these things are in relation to the keyboard. Let's come back down. Let's come down to the next line. Starting here, I'm going to go right to left this time. You see num here, but it really doesn't show what it is. But there's a num here, there's a num here, there's nothing here, and then there's num here, and page and end. So really what this is num plus sign. I don't know why it doesn't show up on the bar, but that's what like these do up here. But this is the num plus sign. This is the num number 9. This is what I use to move forward with my character. Number 8. So that's why there's nothing there. Number 7 is right here. And then my pinky will hit page down. That's here. End, which is right here. Now, what I do not have on here, I do not have delete, and I do not have insert. These two, this I'll show you what this is later on, but this is like target the closest targetable object. So it could be if it was a door or something that's targetable, or even a monster. See, it targets him. I don't have him targeted, but if I push it, he's now targeted. The button above it would be to interact with it. So like if there was let's say you can't interact with a store, but let's say that you could, and I don't have the door targeted. If I pushed delete and then insert, it would target it and then interact with it, like it would open it up. But I'll get to how I have my hotkeys set up. Let me go back down to how they're set up down here. So I did this level up here. Now moving down, I had, once again, this is a picture of the keyboard. Number 6, I used to turn to the right, so that would technically be right here, but I don't have anything listed there. This right here would be the middle, number 5, in the middle of the keyboard. This is moving left, so there would be nothing here. There is nothing here, because if you look at a keyboard, there's nothing here, so that's why this is empty. Now, where the space is ahead on the keyboard, you do notice that there are these arrow keys right there. Well, look what I did over here. There's up, down, left, right. All of these are right on there. And you notice if I actually, but I don't have anything for the left. Actually, you know what? That actually is pretty, because I think when I play, it's hard. If my fingers are here playing, it's hard to get my pinky down here. It just, that hurts the wrist. These other ones are manageable. I can get with my pinky. Definitely all these up here I can get with my pinky. You don't do anything with these 3 up here. And then finally, last but not least, we got that. Now, on the very bottom, you notice I haven't used these 2 yet. These are the buttons that are on the mouse, and I'll come back to those here in a second. This one right here is the number 3 on the number pad. There's nothing here because this would be moving backwards. And this is the number 1 on the number pad. And then right here, to the left of the 1 is the right arrow key. And then, of course, the down arrow key, the up arrow key. Now, there's still 4 buttons left that I have not showed. There's this button here, and these 2 buttons over here. All right. This button right here on the bottom, where I have the cursor right now, is the bottom part of my mouse. Let me move this over here. Move the mouse under the camera. My mouse has 2 buttons on the side of it. All right. The bottom button, the top button, right? That is what is here on the screen. This is the bottom button of the mouse. I'll click it. This is the top button of the mouse. Click it. These two buttons over here are, this is the decimal point. That's I have set up over here. This right here, this button is actually the middle button on the scroll, because you on some mice you can on some mice not only can you scroll up, scroll back, but you can push it down. And you notice if you look over at my hotbars on the very bottom, you see the one highlighting that I have that set up for. All right, so just to briefly go back over, I'm going to push the keys, watch my hand, and watch what it does on the keyboard. Like I said, this number pad is set up just like these hotkey bars. And I did this for somebody like me. Everything is aligned, and your mind, for me, memorizes what to do faster. If I'm playing, I got my forward, backward, left, right. Forward, backwards, left, and right. All right. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do you set that up? And I'll show that here in a second. But for right now, just watch what I highlight when I push the keys on the keyboard. There, there, there. You can see those again. It's on the camera, camera, camera. Hot keys there. Hot key there. Left, right, left. And you, like I said, you see that there's a gap in between those two because that I'm moving forward with that key. There will be nothing here because it's just left and right. But if I push in between the button in between left and right, that's actually number 5. And you see that highlighting on the hotkey bar. And then if I move down to 1 and 3, you'll see those highlighting. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. And of course, there's nothing in the middle because that moves me back. The big old plus sign, which is to the right of this hotkey. See the hotkey there? And plus sign. All right. Moving now, when I play my pinky, I hit this arrow key, this arrow key, this arrow key. Now my pinky hits page down, and end. Page down and end. Page down and end. That gives you the basic setup. And then of course my thumb, the bottom key, you can see that highlights that one. The top key hits that one. My thumb hits this hotkey. And then the middle mouse button makes the one light up beside it. You can see those two going back and forth. That's my thumb and the middle mouse button. Now, there is the 0, and you're like, well, what do you do with that? Well, in this game, you jump a lot. There's a lot of jumping around. So even when people play, they jump around. It's just part of MMOs. That is my thumb. So when I'm playing and moving around, woohoo, I'm using my thumb. It's hard to see, but I'm using. You can try to move my fat fingers out of the way. There we go. If I didn't have any fingers, that's what I'm doing. I'm using my thumb to jump. And I will be moving around while I'm doing that. And you can't see that because my thumb is tucked. It's tucked under there. Yeah. Now let me show you how I set up these keys. You can hit the escape button, bring up the options, go to game? No, where's it at? Key mapping, I'm sorry. Key mapping, down here. Don't worry about any of this stuff up here. This is if you're going to be using a joystick, I guess, and that kind of stuff. But if we're talking about using the number pad for now. Attack and interact. Okay. 0 button is your it would, I think that's already set up. When you left click, I believe that's what you were doing to punch something or attack. You're using your left mouse button. Your right mouse button, if you hold it down, if you hold down the right mouse button, what it does is it kind of puts your character in what they would call um, mouse mode, like a target mode. As long as you hold the right mouse button down, this will happen. You can make your character just look all around by moving the mouse back and forth on your pad. And if you hold both of them down, it still does mouse look, but you're able to attack while you're doing it. And I will go into detail about moving around and stuff like that, being able to attack. But let me go ahead and go into the rest of the key mapping here. I'm going to keep scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. DDO Classic Interact Steer. Would be the right button that I'm doing. Move forward. Num 8. Remember, you got to have num lock on. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this. If I want to move forward, I just click on move forward, and it tells you a box come up. The next key or mouse button that you click will be mapped. So make sure you don't push any mouse, like your mouse button right now, like the left key or right key, or you're going to have to go back and change it to what it was. But this was, since I'm moving forward, move forward, num 8, right? Move backwards is num 2. Like I said, if it wasn't there, I would just click on move backwards, hit num 2. I don't do strafe right, strafe left. I don't do turn right or turn left. I do these instead. It's called turn strafe right, turn strafe left. And what this will do is, if you just push one right or left, it does turn you, right? However, if you hold the right mouse button, like you said, you're in mouse mode here. Now if you push right and you push left, you are strafing. You are strafing right and left. And of course, 0 is the jump. To get a really good feel, if you're coming from a controller to using a mouse and a keyboard together, this is crucial. This is the hardest thing it was for me to go from games like Baldur's Gate and Diablo and stuff like that, where it was click to point to move your character around, or an old Xbox and PlayStation games that I used to play. It took me a week to get used to how to move your character around, and it was EverQuest was the first game that I ever played. So here is how I do this. I'm going to turn the other camera back on so you're able to kind of like see what I am doing. Turn this background off so it doesn't look confusing. If I'm maneuvering around, if I'm running, like if I'm going around, my right finger or right mouse button is clicked. I keep that down at all times. That way, while I'm moving around, I can do this. Let's see, really like better angle. The one with the mouse. It's out here. See how my finger is on the mouse button on the right hand side, and you can also look up at the screen at what I'm doing, like moving left, moving right. This way I'm able to really turn around really fast because there might be stuff coming up behind me. I have the right, because if I take my finger off the right button and I try to go right and left, I'm just going to stand here in a circle and spin. I'm not going anywhere. I can move forward. I can do this. I mean, I can maneuver around like this just using my keys, the forward, backward, left, and right. But this is clunky. And I think when I first learned MMOs, this is how I kind of like used to play like this. But over time, I got used to using the mouse along with it. Now it's much smoother. I can do tighter turns. I can look around, and this finger is free. Now I can attack. If I have a weapon in my hand, I don't think you start off with a weapon. Now, let's just pretend my fist is a weapon. My fists are weapons. So, look. See, let me just say I'm attack. I can move around. My finger is still on the right mouse button. I'm moving around. Even though my finger's still on here, I can punch. Like, let's say this person's attacking me right here. Punch. Well, I don't mean to interact with you. You know, punch. Stop. Target myself. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, 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 punch. This guy. Remember I told you people jump around the game? This is like jump, punch, 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 punch. You know, punch, 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 punch. Even though he's not punching, there he goes. Punch, 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 punch. Down here and punch on him a little bit. Punch, 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 punch. It takes about like I said, everybody learns differently, but back when I was playing EverQuest, that was back in like I don't know, hell whenever the world well, it was back around when the World Trade Center was attacked. That's about when I first got into right after there's when I got into EverQuest. I was coming from Diablo to play EverQuest. Um but once you learn how to play using the mouse, spinning around, holding the like kind of like the mouse look down, you're able just to move around and punch and maneuver and jump over if you need to. It works. All right, back to this options, key mapping. Now let's talk about getting like if you were having the hotkeys set up. I'm going to switch the keys back. I'm going to switch the camera back over to DDO. This one off temporarily. All I'm doing is I'm scrolling down. You'll notice that there are so many things that you could set up hotkeys for. I did not do, I don't think I did a lot of this stuff. It's already automatic. You can go through and change whatever you want. You know, C for your character sheet, right? You press C, it comes up. I for your inventory, right? Maybe you don't want L for the quest journal panel. Maybe the letter Q might think of quest. I just left it on L for now. You know, P is your compendium guide. Um, O is your social panel, and I mean you'll learn the stuff. M for map, right? That's there. Epic Destinies is Control E. You'll learn all this stuff on your own with that. That's so like I said, a lot of that stuff is not so important right now. This is main menu. Now that has a slash, but it's not the one on the keyboard. The keyboard's the backslash the other way. I don't even know where in the hell that slash is at. Where is that at? Is that here? Oh, I guess it is. All right. Options. The help panel, dungeon status. All right. Examine is Z. I don't think I've ever really used that. Quest experience is X. A lot of these you really don't use. The next chat window, a lot of this stuff you won't use. Floaty names. Floaty names is if you push V. Notice that Thala Arethel, whatever her name is, here it is. If I push V, her name disappears. Unless I hover over it, then it shows up. But if I don't hover over their name disappears. You push V, it comes back. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right. Now here's where I started doing things. Block attack is page up right here. So now I'm blocking. Remember I told you I use all these over here. This is my block button. If I'm attacking and I want to block, my pinky just hits block. It's this one right here. Normally, these two keys right here I associate with healing of some kind. Whether if I use a scroll to heal myself with or a healing pot, normally these two will be associated with a heal that is just I have it just from playing for so long. Heal, 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 heal. When you get into the epic destinies, which is later on, you have like cocoon, or heal scroll, cocoon, uh, renewal, whatever, different kinds of heal spells. But you figure it out however you want to set yours up. I'm just telling you how I did mine. If I play a character that heals, or if I need to heal with a heal scroll or a potion or something like that, I normally associate these two buttons, the page down and end, with healing. It's good to have that when you're playing a game, that your mind associates certain parts of the keyboard number pads with what your character does. That way you're not always constantly confused and be like, oh my god, which button do I push? So you don't want that. You want organization, and know where your fingers are going, what they're doing. All right, as I said before, um, interact is, oh, it's my phone. All right, there we go. Interact is the insert. So I use delete to target something, and I will demonstrate that. Let me pull this over here. Let me target myself first. I will hit delete to target this person, insert, and that will bring up the interaction bar. That will, or interaction dialog, and that works with, like, if this was like an object that you can pick up, I would hit delete to target it, insert to pick it up, or whatever. Same, like I said, same with a person or whatever. And that brings it up. Boom, just like that. All right, that is what interact is for. Push to talk. All like I said, you can figure all this stuff out on your own. I use control, which is, you can't see that on the keyboard. That's actually to the left of the arrow keys. Move my keyboard. It's actually right here. I can barely see my pinky, but that's where it's at. All right. There's toggle auto targeting and all this other kind of stuff. I don't mess with that, any of that type of stuff. Target nearest combat target. I have home. Excuse me. That is this button up here. That will target if anything is aggressive towards me, toward me like an enemy. That is what that does up there. All right. Here is, like before, the next interactable is the delete, and then the select it was up here. I said interact is insert. However you want to set yours up, but that's what it's for. Keep scrolling down, select yourself, F1, this party member, whatever. You set it up however you want to set it up. All right. Here's where it gets confusing, though, with the bars and the shortcuts. Now, if you notice, you'll see I scrolled down to where it says shortcuts, right? And you'll see shortcut 1, number 1, right? And if you push number 1, you will see that it does do this bar down here. That is what it is interacting with. But this will do all these, just this bar. This is your first shortcut bar, but this is meant for if you scroll this bar to like other bars. You can do that in this game, but I don't recommend it. It's nice to have everything already laid out. You don't want to be scrolling between bars trying to remember what is on what bar. So I just bypass all of these and I go down. There's shortcut bar 1, 2, go past all of that. Keep going all the way down to this right here. Shortcut bar 1, slot 1. This is what you want. You want this right here. Now, shortcut bar 1, slot 1 is this. Even though pushing 1 on your keyboard all the way over on the left-hand side of the keyboard, even though that does highlight number 1, but that is not what that is. That is not what we are using. We are using the number pad. So I don't have anything associated with shortcut bar 1, slot 1, bar, because there's nothing over here. I don't have anything there. But if you notice right here, shortcut bar 1, slot 3, I do have this set up. And then if you go to slot 4 is button 2, and button 2 is actually your middle mouse button. The like your scroll wheel. If you have a mouse that you can push down and it clicks as a button, that is what button 2 is. Your button 2 is your middle mouse button pushed down. Click, click, click. All right. The down arrow would be the next thing that I have right here. And then the right arrow. And then, like I said, we're moving over to my movement now. Here is num1 right here, because remember this section right here, this section right here represents this number pad 1 through 9. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's what this is. Represents it. And I set this up accordingly. And if you come over here, and all you got to do is associate the number with it. You know, shortcut bar 1, slot 8. Well, there's nothing there because that would technically be the backup button where you're backing up. You know, it's number 2 on the numpad. That's what this would be. And then number 3 would be the one beside it. And remember, I said these two right here is my bottom mouse button and the top mouse button. Not the very top, but the side buttons on the mouse. The one that's in the back and the one that's in the front. And then when you get to the second bar where it says number 2, it's shortcut bar 2. That's this new section that I'm on. And really there wasn't too many things that I need to set up, just the up arrow key. Shortcut bar 2 slot 8 would be right here. That's actually the middle, number 5 on the number pad in the middle. And then shortcut bar 2 slot 10 is button 4. That was, oh yeah, that's the top. That's the top. This is, what is the bottom one again? The bottom one is button 3. Okay, yeah. So this would be button 3. This is button 4. That's just what they're associated with on this. And the rest of it's pretty, like I said, pretty self-explanatory. It just makes sure, you know, shortcut bar 3, slot 5, now you're up here. And the number plus sign, shortcut bar 3, slot 10. That's right there. I normally associate this big, fat, juicy button normally with, if I was playing a melee character, I consider this like my AoE button. It doesn't have to be, but like if I do a cleave attack, if I'm moving around fighting stuff and I have a cleave, boom, cleave, you know, cleave, cleave. Or if I have a spell that does damage all around me or a cone in front of me or something like that, boom. And that way, this button to me, I associated with damaging everything around me, damaging something in front of me, like mass multiple hit. You know, these other stuff, some of these other buttons might do multiple hit or single hit, but I always associate the big key with big damage, you know, to a big amount of monsters or something like that. That's just how, you know, I had my mind work with it to associate those things together. And that pretty much is the basics of setting up your layout. Have an organized layout. It takes you a little time the very first time, but if you do like what I said before, after you get this layout set up, you type /UI space layout, another space, and then save, and then whatever you want, and then it's another space, and then whatever you want to name it, and then it'll be saved. And then next time you'll do the UI layout load, and then whatever you called it, and then it'll set everything up just like this. All right. Trying to think what next. Let me show you a little bit of action. Like let me go through the thing to start everything. Uh, I could start at level 7 or level 4 level, but I'm just going to do level 1. I want to start at level 1 on Korthos island or the keep on Borderlands. It just lets you know if you choose this option, you will leave the veteran status area. I can do pick veteran status because I've earned it by playing the game. I forget what the hell I did to do it, but whatever. So this is all a dream. The airship crashed. It's time to wake up. So this is my choice that I'm making.
You find yourself waking on a shore of flotsam. Memories of a large white dragon striking your ship come flooding back.
Jeets will sit here and just keep running his mouth. "Oh, you injured?" With the English accent. "Hey, you awake? Oi, are you injured?" Okay, all that crazy stuff. Now, don't mind this over here because it says, use the WASD key. We changed all that. We don't want to mess with this. You can leave these hints on until you get used to the game, right? And if you click on it, it'll tell you use the arrow keys or the WS. Well, we changed all that stuff. If you did it, set it up the way I did. So when you click it off, it goes bye-bye. Click on the next hint. Hints appear throughout the tutorial experience. Blah 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 blah. You can get rid of the hints if you want. Come under options. Rid of that. Come under options, UI. Click on UI settings. Just look right down here. Don't show hints. You got to click it, and it'll stop showing them. So once again, let me turn on the other camera again so you can kind of see how my hands and stuff work. I'll turn off the background game because that just doesn't get confusing on the corners. See, I want to be able to get my hand on the keyboard and the game itself kind of like all in there together. All right. It's not really that you really need to see the screen completely of what I'm doing. It's mainly about just watching my hands and seeing what they're doing. We already know what the okay. Holding the right mouse button down and using the left, right, forward, backwards keys. Get your fingers used to doing this, to moving yourself around. Also, using your finger sometimes to scroll in. Sometimes I need to scroll in and scroll out. Get your finger used to rolling this scroll key forwards and backwards. All these, you don't need to do it all the time, but sometimes you might need to like scroll in to see, let me see around there, scroll back out. See how I did that? I came down, scroll in. Is there something back there? Nah. All right, scroll back out. Right finger down on the right. My fingers down on the right mouse key. And then I just take all my fingers off. I just click on him. Left click. Are you looking for survivors? So I'm going to go click on that. Yes, I have misplaced my belongings. All right, lead the way.
Said was true. No one but you made it to the island alive. It may be worth following this rogue.
Holding down, once again, holding down on the right button. Because if like I said, I don't need to hold down on it, but if I take my finger, if I was still pointing this way and I didn't put my finger down on the right mouse, right, and Jeets took off behind me, I can turn myself around. Here's my other hand. Well, you can see it right here. I don't need to hold that down. I can turn around, but look how slow that is to turn around. Like I'm here, I can either turn around this way, but now I'm looking at the ground kind of, right? I mean, I can't see what's up here. And not to mention, it took a while to turn around. But if I hold down on the right mouse button, now I want to turn around, not only can I use when I have the right mouse button clicked, holding down on that, I can move this camera around wherever I want to. See that? I can move it all around. Up, see what's. Woo! Watch out! Got X-rated there. All right, look all around like that, and then I just use the keypads to help move myself with my finger holding down on the mouse like that. It's up here, so it's way up here, so you can see it. All right, and kind of like see what I do with the mouse. All right, I don't have to have my finger on there, but anyways, here. Well, that depends on what you want. I picked two-hander in the beginning. Someone will take the great axe. He says give it a few swings. I want to hit I on the keyboard. Here is my axe. I mean, when you have the weapon, you can, if you drop it on here, it'll put it in the appropriate slot, or you can just put it in the slot. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to put that on real quick because it's a cloak. Okay. Woohoo! All right. What task do you have for me? If you wanted to pick a different weapon, you could tell them right here, but just what task do you have for me? And you just go through the spiel. There it is. Now, there is something we did not set up. We talked about hotkeys and stuff like that. Up to this point, it's just me pushing. I have my once again, I have my finger down on the right mouse button, and I can push the left one to attack while I'm holding the right mouse. That way, like if it says say Jeets is a monster, I can be attacking monsters in front of me and then just hurry up and turn over to him. All I did was just move my mouse to the right. That's all I did. I'm attacking monsters here and just move my mouse. Now I would be attacking him. Just say that these two trees are monsters, right? I can have my finger down on the right hand mouse, have my fingers on the keyboard. I could be like attacking him, attack, 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 and then hurry up and spin around and attack. Spin around, attack. Spin around and attack. Spin around and attack. Spin around and attack. Let me find something that's on the ground. All right, copper pieces. Remember I told you I have delete for target. So now it see 79 copper pieces, and then interact, and it picks them up. Of course, you can't really see it because you're more looking at my hands right now. How I'm playing the game. I'll have to come back show you that again. So I'm destroying boxes and stuff like that. Now, there are more attacks than me just swinging this, and you will get more attacks and special abilities later on in the game. So let me go back to the DDO game. Turn this off. We're going to open up, we're going to push C, the letter C, and that's going to open your character sheet. From here, you want to go under, the first thing you want to go under is go under skills. That would be the first one. Scroll down until you find search. And pull in this magnifying glass. Even though that's this big long thing, it'll only put the magnifying glass on there. You're going to want that because in this game there are some places where you're going to search. Even at low levels, the the roll to find it, the save or whatever to find it, you'll be able to find a search. The difficulty of finding it, you would probably be able to do it because when you click on this, your guy does a search. If there was a hidden door somewhere, it would show up. All right, so let me go ahead and I already got that on the bar. The next one, let's come under feats. I'm a fighter. You don't have to worry about attack because you already attack. All right, you attack with your button. I think you can like you can have auto attack on if you want to. Like say there's something in front of you that's going to take forever to kill. You could turn auto attack on. Your guy will just sit here and just auto attack like this. It's the same thing as holding your finger down, but he's not auto attacking on his own when I take my finger off. Even though auto attack is on, he has no target. There's nothing that he's chopping at. So until you have a target that you can chop on, an enemy target, you can't do it on It won't do it to an NPC. So, but that's something to keep in mind. You don't really necessarily need that. I keep it off. You don't need Dismiss Charm. You don't need any of this stuff. You don't need to. If you're a fighter, don't worry about it. Now, if you were a rogue, then you would want to pull that down because you are going to be sneaking around. Now, you can sneak around as a fighter. Um, something would it probably would hear you. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that because once again, this isn't what this video is about. So, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the sneak off. I'm just going to set up abilities. Defensive fighting, um, you're not going to have this on in the beginning because there's another ability we took. This is just like say for fighter. Okay, look, here's cleave. We're going to start setting up our abilities now. I took cleave as a fighter. Remember I told you that my big area attack I associate with the plus sign. So I just put this. Now you can see the plus sign. There it is. You can see that right there. Now watch what happens when I push the plus sign. It's an AoE attack. I associate that plus sign with doing an AoE attack. Power attack. This is a toggle ability. I put my toggle abilities here. I put potions on this right here. My weapons, I put like this. These are your weapon sets. If you had two weapons, one in each hand, you would pull the first weapon over here, and whatever weapon was in your other hand, you would also pull it to the same thing, and it will show an icon of the two weapons together. And then you just pull it down here, and you can see that it is targeted. If I had like another weapon, I would go ahead and equip it, pull it over to the second weapon set, and then pull that down to here, just like there's nothing there right now. If I wanted to be empty-handed, I can just click on this because I don't have any weapon. But here, if I click on this, it puts the weapon back in my hand. All right, I pulled cleave down. Here's power attack. I'm going to turn power attack on. In power attack, you trade up 5 of your attack bonus for that extra damage on your melee attacks. All right. Sunder. A lot of people, some people use this stuff, some don't. Stuff dies so quick in the beginning, in the beginning at the heroic levels, you really don't really need this too much. All it does is it reduces your target's armor class by 10% and fortification for 6 seconds. It's anything that can be sundered, you can use that against them. I mean, if you want to pull it down there and have it on something, that's fine. It could be like another attack. Let me just say I'll put it where number 5 is at. Okay, number 5, which is right in the middle. Trip. Let's just put this down here on like number 3. That way I can try to trip something. What else we got? Open up proficiencies. There'll be nothing there. These are just all the weapons you're proficient with. I really don't think there's anything else that I can do. There's no other abilities that I can put on there. Spells, I'm a fighter, don't have any spells. Enhancements, I don't have any enhancements yet. Enhancements is Control R. That brings up your enhancements. I don't have any points to spend in anything. As you level up, these little dots that are down here on the bottom right hand of the screen, as you level up with experience, these bubbles will start filling up, and every bubble that you fill up is 1 point that you can spend in one of these trees, starting from the bottom, working your way up. But once again, this is just mainly to show how you move your character around. I'm going to attack that. I'm going to break, break, break. Oh, let me go back to the... Sure that you can see like what I'm doing. Jumping, or you don't really have to jump. Jump, jump, jump. Interact. Chop. Now you see how quick that is. Eventually, you see how quick there's something on the ground. Pop, pop. I picked it up that quick. Just hitting this. Delete, insert. But you set it up however you want to set it up. You have to do what your fingers feel comfortable to do.
Here we are. Go inside and speak with Salimus. I'll wait here for Jeets.
Solo. This is a solo quest, so you cannot pick any other
Is
difficulties.
this Salimus, the cleric you were sent to find?
Are you?
Once again, left click. I'm just going to go through whatever. I don't. It's just blah 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 blah. All right. You can't die in this very first quest. She puts a buff on you that it's called protection from death. Should you fall incapacitated, this spell will heal you and return you to consciousness. All right. She opens up the door. You come in here. And like I said, if this is your first MMO, your first time playing a game and stuff like that, take it in for a second. This is the intro quest. Look around, look at the beauty of the artwork and stuff like that. I'm holding the right mouse button for that. Once again, this is, like I said, consider this mouse look, which I think it is actually considered. There is a button, I think it's T. If you push the letter T on your keyboard, you notice what it does. You can see it right here. I'm pointing my finger to it instead of me switching the screen over to the game. I push T, and now you see that there's a little dot in front of me, right? And then if I just move the mouse around, not even pushing on the right button, it's like pushing on the right button. This is called, I think it is called mouse look, because you were using the mouse to look around everywhere. But I don't like having that on. I don't know why. I know. Well, I know why, because if I need to go up and target something and interact with it, I can't, because I'm in target mouse mode. So I'll push T to get rid of that, and it gives me my. Not to mention, sometimes I play other games on my other monitor, have something going on, and if I need to take the mouse off the screen to my other monitor, I can't do it while I'm in mouse look. So again. So you see watch how I'm playing. You can watch my left hand, and mouse look is with my right finger. Jump up onto it. You don't have to. You can just grab it. You can just run in these. Your guy automatically goes up. Or you could just jump. You can jump. It don't matter. However you want to do it. In the beginning quest, like I said, there's arrows that kind of show you where you need to go, what you need to do. Drop down. Because they do this, I guess, because they kind of show you, like, hey, this kind of stuff is in the game. If you're new to MMOs, this is the kind of stuff that you can find. And you might look around like, okay, is there anything here? Is there anything here? There's nothing around here. Uh-oh, what's this? A monster. Look, see, he's attacking me. Now, remember, actually, do I have blocks set up? Oh, yeah, there it is. There's my block. I can block. Block. Now, you can't attack while you're blocking, of course. Chop. Oh, yeah. Once you do your first attack, grab. You see that a die appeared? It was actually over here on the side of the screen where you can kind of see my mouse right now. It was over here, but it'll disappear, so make sure as soon as it appears, grab it. It will not disappear while you have it targeted and held on to. It'll stay there, but once you take your finger off, it'll disappear until the next thing comes up that does a die roll, whether if it's you trying to cast a spell and a die roll happens, or you're doing another attack, a die roll happens. You can change the color of the die to a different color. All that stuff you can. It's under options. Scroll down. Here it is. Combat dice. Opal, alien. See, you have all different kinds of different dice that you can choose from. I'll pick Tiger's Eye. Kind of cool. see what happens when it appears again. You know, get used to jumping around, moving around, looking around with your mouse look right. I keep stressing that because this is this is the learning curve of playing an MMO or a game where you're using a keyboard and a mouse together and not using like the WASD because like I said, everything is offset over there. It's so nice to have everything all in line with each other. It just makes it so much easier to do.
When you open the door, I got dibs on the first Sawagi.
Yeah. You got first dibs.
What, it's empty?
Oi, where's the bloody Sawagi?
Look, the door closed behind us.
Said watch what I'm doing with the mouse. Not so much the action in the game. I'm moving. I mean, well, kind of like watch them together. You see, I'm like click, 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 attack. I can just hold the button down and it'll attack. Let's see about auto attack. I turned auto attack on. Let me see if he swings away when I target something. Yeah, see, I'm not touching anything, and he was just chop, chop, chop. It took him a second, but see, that's him chopping all by himself. I just took my hands away. So that is what auto attack would do. It really serves, it does you no purpose right now because stuff dies in one or two chops anyway, right? See, he's dead. But see how I'm maneuvering around using, holding down the mouse look and using like the right and the left keys to kind of like strafe around the monster. And I can attack if I'm strafing around, jumping around. It's a learning curve, but you know, you pick it up in no time at all.
Anyone see a key?
No, I didn't see a key. Did you see a key?
Good work.
Jump down into the drink.
You grabbed the
Pick up the silver key. All right, so to get up out of the water, to go up, you would jump, right? Jump would be the same thing as, you know, swimming up. And be careful, your breath runs out when you're under the water. Once you're higher level and have more constitution, you could like almost hold it all day.
I can't swim in this arm.
Use the key to unlock the door.
Someone go down there.
These are rest shrines that are in the game. You can, if you were a spellcaster, you can use that to get your spell points back, your mana points. It'll also heal you a little bit if you don't have any heal pots or anything, which I think I did pick up a heal pot. So I'm actually going to pull that down and put this on the bar. Now remember I told you earlier, I normally use page down and end for my heals. You know, so if I'm getting ready to die, I'm running out of hit points, my mind automatically tells my pinky, hey, you got heal over here somewhere. One of these is a heal. You know, so hit it. This is a resurrection shrine. If somebody dies, they can come here and click on this and it resurrects them.
Crikey.
All right, I'm not a rogue. He is. He's going to search. He's going to find the trap box. He's going to fix it.
No match for yours.
I'm going to open up the door.
Now.
Once again, like I said, I'm coming through. You know, when you're running through, you really can't see to the left and to the right. So I'll hold down the mouse button and I can kind of turn, but still go that way. I can still go towards that door. I'm holding down the mouse button, but now I'm pressing on the right key. Now I'm like strafing sideways. That way, maybe there was a monster hidden there to the side. Like, I got to get up to those guys, but maybe there's something hidden over there. So I just I can strafe like this. Okay, there was nothing there. You know, there could have been something back here that was hidden, you know, but I can always come down, look to the right, look to the left while I'm still running. It's all about learning how to move with forwards, backwards, left, right, holding the mouse look, and maybe attacking all at the same time. You will get these things right here are like the meat of the movement in your game. The left button, the right button, I'm talking about your mouse, your left mouse click, right mouse click, the forward, backward, left, and right. And remember what I said with the settings on that for the strafing or whatever. You want to have it on where is that? Has it? Yeah, right here. The turn slash strafe, right? Turn slash strafe left. That's what I keep mine set on. Here's another rush shrine. There's nothing back here, but you can look around. Oh, it's the same rush shrine. I got lost. I went backwards, but that's okay. That is what your map is for. You can push M to see where you have been and where you haven't been. Remember, I'm checking through here, running up to these guys.
There she is, performing some kind of profane blood magic.
Pull the lever.
I will open the door.
She's buffing us. And once again, here we go. Just attack. Hit the plus button. Remember that did my big AoE cleave. Does lots of damage to everything around it. You can look around here, jump up over stuff if you want to. There's your chest here if you want to look in the chest. There's some goodies. You got all kinds of goodies. You know what? I think I'm trying to remember, you get this stuff anyway somehow. I don't know if you forget to loot this chest if it gives it to you, because I could swear, oh, if you skip this tutorial, you skip the beginning of it, it will give you all this stuff anyway at the end. Now, I don't know if you go through the tutorial and you don't loot that chest. I'm not sure if it automatically puts it into your inventory. Not sure. It's a good question. I had to think about myself there. All right, this is what I was talking about. This is why I told you to pull this magnifying glass down the bar. Now, there's a wall here. You can't go anywhere, right? I'm pushing, like, interact with the next interactable thing that I have set up, which is my delete button. I don't see anything highlight. Now you can see something interactive on the other side of the door. It's toggling between Jeets and over there, but it's no switch, no lever, no nothing. But it tells you up here, find the secret door, use the looking glass icon. That's what this is. So I'm standing here, I'm going to press it. Voila, the door appears. I use the left mouse to click on it. Door opens, run through, and now I'm at the end of the quest. But don't go out. If you click on it, it says, warning, this adventure is not yet complete. So I'm going to click no. It tells you up in here always what your objective is. No, I got the different screen. Turn that off. Yeah, up here in the right-hand corner, it tells you what your objective is. Speak with Cleric Salinas. Talk to you. Okay, thank you. Get it. I'm going to pick this because that was a beginner axe. This is an Ember Great Axe. It does some fire damage. Has a little bit more damage than it does. So I'm going to pick that. I'm going to go ahead and equip it right away. I could just drop it on top of that one. But what I want to make sure, though, I want to make sure I changed. Well, actually, I don't. Is that still the old axe? Yeah, I think if I click on this, I think it might put the old rusty axe in there. Yeah. So if you put a new item in there, make sure you pull that over to that first spot. Right? Now, if I did want to switch between the two axes, I can put the rusty axe here and pull that over to slot 2. Now I have a rusty axe and the fire axe. There's the fire axe. There's the rusty axe. Whoops, I did not mean to heal myself. That was not good. See, switch between the axes. See him. All right. I'm going to exit out of the quest because it has been complete.
Stepping out of the grotto.
And I will show you one more quick thing, even though this was more a tutorial of how to move around. I did earn one bubble down here. So Control R, and as you can see, this is where I can spin one action point in one of these trees that are over here. There's other trees and stuff like that, but these are your 3 fighter trees right here. I can pick, select a group of weapons or your Kensai focus. I can get more hit points for each action point you spin in this tree, and whatever they say. You have to read them yourself and see what they all do. Or you can spin it over here in your race tree. Since you're human, you can put them in there. But when you pick one, I'm going to click on that. I'm using a 2-handed axe, so I can do a Kensai focus axes. That'll give me a +1 to hit with battle axes, great axes, hand axes, etc., etc., etc. Click accept and accept. Now that is locked in. And then when I get more points, I can spin them to go up through there. So I hope that there's more tutorial quests. That's what this was right here. You can do like the next quest, which is a tutorial. Kind of gives you the arrows of where to go and stuff like that. You see this blinking, and then you would go in there and do your next quest. Your trainers are right here. And then down here in the city or down here in the little town is other stuff. There's a vendor that you can buy stuff and sell stuff, just real simple stuff. And there's a wilderness area right there, which will have quests out there. You will eventually get to that. But like I said, this is just more of a tutorial of how to move around. I hope that you got a good understanding of how to move around. You got to see some action with some of the monsters. These are your quest givers. Maybe I'll do just a little bit more just to finish this off a little bit. And this where probably would be a good example right here. That is not where I meant to go. I don't know why. That's a tavern. You can go in the tavern. You know what? I wonder. Want to hear? No. But there is a way we can see all this at one time. Unlock that. Unlock that. Here we go. Done this to be. Just going to put this down here. It's up here. Or hell, I can just put these up here together so you can kind of like see what I'm doing. I know it blocks up a lot of the screen, but the point of it is that you can see like what my hands are doing in relation to what I'm doing in the game. This is a free to play account that I'm on right now. So when I cannot pick any of the higher level difficulties, I can pick casual, which makes it really easy, but I can start on normal. This must have been the quest that my friend was telling me about where he had to solve the puzzle. All right, so in here are things that you can chop and break. You do get bonuses for breaking breakables. If you click on XP, make sure you don't click on recall. If you click on recall, I'll go ahead and do it. You'll see recalling up at the top. No, you can't see it because I got it covered up right now. But let me do that again. If you accidentally hit recall, You do have a little bit of time. You can see where the bar is going across. You don't want to do that. I mean, unless you're planning to leave the quest. If you're on Reaper mode, which that's just something else, you won't be able to get back in. But anyways, click on XP, and the XP will show you, 2 monsters killed, no traps have been disabled, 2 breakables smashed. Who broke them? That's me. Any kind of bonuses, XP bonuses and stuff that you get. If this tells you what level it is, the base experience, how many times you've re-entered the quest, who the highest level player is that in this quest, the first time completing normal difficulty, you get a plus 20% experience. All right. So break. You'll get used to the noises in the game. As you break so many breakables, you'll start getting like, I think you get an 8% bonus, which is called Vandal, I think. 10%, or once you get up, mischief is 10%, and then, God, you know what? I can't think of what the next one is. But if you break everything, you'll get a 15%. I mean, not necessarily everything, but to satisfy the number that needs to be broke of items that need to be broke. Is it Vandal? No, what is it? Mischief? We'll see. Have I got any kind of bonus yet? Nope, not yet. 25 breakables. You just see 25 breakables smash. 25 of them. I'm going to keep breaking.
This appears to be the main storeroom. It seems the villagers have been preparing for a protracted siege.
You'll know when you get a bonus because there's a noise that goes off. Haven't heard it yet. There. Did you hear that? It sounded like somebody shut a door or something like that. There we go. 32 breakables gave an 8% mischief bonus. Now, this will be different in every dungeon that you go in, how many breakables that you need to break. Because there may be only 10 breakables in a quest, and if you break 7 of them, you might get mischief. You break 8 of them, then, But if you're in a quest where there's like 500 breakables that you can break, you're going to have to break most of those to get the bonus. A lot of chopping and slashing, and we're going to listen for the next noise that it makes. It'll be the 10% bonus.
A large silver key. A Sahagan emerges from a hidden passage, demanding the key. You mustn't let the scrolls fall into devourer hands.
So, got my finger on the mouse. Look. I can just click on this, left click. I don't need to do the interact and I mean you can. I mean I can do that. I can come up and push interact next item and then hit that, but I can just click on it with my mouse too. Hop. This is why it's good to have hop, because instead of walking slow through the water, you can just jump along, to get out of it. I'm checking to see if there's anything else targetable by, doing the next targetable item. It's cycling through all kinds of stuff that is targetable around. There's copper pieces out there. There's a door I can see through the wall. Potion to cure light wounds, 72 copper pieces. The chest, once again, it cycles all of this stuff. Door. Now, did you hear that? It sounded like a lion. Roar! That normally is your XP bonus for killing monsters. Where is it at? Aggression bonus. 9 monsters killed, get 10% bonus. You heard that roar. Now there'll be another a thing that sounds like a door being shut, like a gush of air or whatever. When this mischief bonus will go up to the next one. There it was. I don't know if the sound comes up loud enough on the thing though. See, now it's 10% Vandal bonus.
The door swings open, revealing a magical sphere around. It appears that the floor in this room can be moved and rotated.
Now, I don't want to end this quest yet because I don't have. I can get another 5% experience from getting all the breakables. So there it was. I don't know, like I said, I turned the volume up a little bit. Do we hear that? That little sound? Now, ransack bonus, 15%. It was 51 breakables to do that. Now I can go ahead. I don't need to break anything else because it's not, unless sometimes there's an item or gold or platinum, whatever, that can be hidden in it. You know, items drop. Sometimes swords, sometimes armor, stuff like that, that drops out of there. You just want to solve this puzzle. You have to get all these lights lit up. So that lit that up, that lit that up. This is going to go down that way, this way. There, that goes there. It goes here to light that one up. This comes down to this. So go like, oh, this one is the one that goes on. Yeah, good job.
The protective spell dissipates. All that remains now is to take and deliver the
Let's get mouse look, you know, mouse looking around, or I'm moving the mouse, moving the thing, whatever. You know, sometimes you get like this where, you know, something's in the way. You can either scroll up with your mouse scroller just so you're through that. But most of the time it's just you just hold the right mouse click button and just move the camera down like that, you know, with the mouse look. But there's some places in the game where you might have to scroll in a little bit, you know, or something like that. Very rare. Most of the stuff you can just do with the mouse look like this and find it. See, like I went from one side to the other side where it was blocking me. And there I go. Holding mouse look. You can tell when I hold the mouse look because my cursor disappears and the little circle over top of my head appears. I really hope this helps out for people who are new to the game, to MMOs, and really haven't got a chance to learn how to move things around. Just make sure you have everything, like I said, organized. This isn't organized right now. I just noticed something like this is Korthos Village. It's blocking my maps thing. This is actually supposed to be up here in the top right hand corner. It doesn't have to. That's where I put mine at though. So, anyways, hope this helps. There could be a lot more tutorials of how to set up, how to when you level up and get more abilities, and then where they're going to be at enhancements, and you're going to pull. This is not anything that you can pull down. Normally when you pull something down, it'll be squarish looking like this, like you can pull it down to the bar. But this, like I said, this is mainly for movement. I hope you kind of got a good feel of how I use this to move myself around in the game. I make it really big for like the grand finale here. And turn the actual game off in the background. See, you can see how I move around. Left. Mouse to be seen up and down. Just takes a little while to get used to. All right, this is CMCU of Sarlona, High Lords of Malkir Guild. Hope it helped. Thank you for watching. You can visit me on my Twitch channel if you just look up CMCU, the underscore Rogarian. You can find me there on Twitch. Yeah, so that's it. Friday nights, Brock and Friends at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the DDO stream. That is really interesting. It's fun. We role play the DDO world. But like I said, that's something to get into later on. I'm going to get on a tangent, keep talking about stuff. So let me end this thing. Thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope it helped. Oh, I'm sorry. I did forget one thing. I said I was going to do this. I completely forgot. For people who want to try to play with a controller, you absolutely can play with a controller. Let me pull up Firefox. Let me pull this up on the screen. Get rid of these. You don't need to see that and that. All right. If you go on YouTube and look best way to play DDO with an Xbox controller, Mary Guide. All right. And this is recent. This is like January 1st, 2022. It's relatively recent. This person
to play DDO, I
will
have played. So
goes into detail of how to set this thing up.
They call it, are these four right here. If I just hold that down, it attacks, does sort of like an auto attack blocking. And also, if you're blocking, then you can tumble. So I can block and my keyboard. It allows me, it's harder on your...
I don't know 100%. I've never played with a controller, but he goes into detail. I would assume that you still have to set up some certain things. I have not watched the video through. I would guess that I would guess that it will set up. Just watch the video, see what he says, and go from there. There are other videos out there. Some are a little older, but all of them talk about what you need to do to set up playing with a controller if you wish to play a controller. Me personally, I just like using the keyboard and mouse because I got myself used to it. I don't play console games anymore. So anyway, hope that helped. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.